Welcome to Vacations for Canadians, the podcast. We've got the experience and expertise to help you travel smarter, dream bigger, and make your next vacation unforgettable. Now let's talk about it. I'm your host, Teena Dowd, and as a longtime cruiser, I always encourage anyone who hasn't tried cruising yet to consider it as a travel option. There are so many incredible reasons to cruise, and while it can feel a little intimidating at first, we're here to share simple tips to help make your first cruise the first of many. Today I'm joined by Linda, the marketing manager here at Vacations for Canadians.
Hi, Teena. I'm so happy to be here. I'm usually behind the scenes, but I am loving this new podcast, and this topic really is close to my heart as someone who didn't think they were going to be a cruiser, and now that I've done them, I am completely hooked. So from experience, I know there's a lot of misconceptions about cruising, and I definitely believed a lot of them before heading on my first cruise. So let's talk about them and set the record straight. And I think we should start with this one because I'm sure you heard a lot. If I go on a cruise, I'm going to get seasick.
Yes, I do get that question often, but modern ships have stabilizers, which significantly reduce the amount of movement. So most guests are absolutely fine, and many don't feel any motion at all. If you are worried, try to pick a midship, lower deck cabin. That's where you'll feel the least amount of movement. And if you do end up experiencing mild seasickness, there are easy remedies like acupressure bands, patches, gravel, or even just staying hydrated and getting some fresh air on deck.
Those are some great tips. I've got another question. When thinking about the price, people think cruises are too expensive and that they're going to get nickel and dimed. What do you think about that?
Actually, cruises offer incredible value. Your base fare covers your accommodations, transportation between ports, most dining venues, and entertainment. That's a lot included. Extras like specialty dining, premium drinks, and spa treatments are optional. There are lots of ways to stay within your budget. Here's a few things you can do. Set a daily spending limit. Pre-purchase beverage packages only if they make sense for you. Take advantage of complimentary dining options and skip the casino if that's not your thing. And if you follow us on social media or check our website, you know we always have great deals that often include perks like onboard credits, shore excursions, even specialty dining.
So, as the marketing girl, I always recommend following our social media and checking our website. But now we're going to head on to the next question. It's about ship size and assumptions that it's always going to be crowded and chaotic on a ship.
You know what's funny about that? The biggest ships often feel the least crowded because there's just so much space and so many different areas to explore. Think about it. When you have 20 different places to eat, 5 pool areas, multiple theaters, and shops spread across 15 decks, people naturally disperse.
Totally, I get that.
I've been on the largest ships in the world and found myself completely alone in a quiet lounge with an ocean view. And here's a secret. Port days are the best. Half the ship is off exploring, so you basically have the run of the place if you stay on board.
I have to say that was one of my assumptions too, that it was going to be really crowded and really chaotic and I wouldn't have my own space, but it was totally the opposite. I was really surprised. We were on a really, what I would consider a big ship. We were on the Oasis class and it never felt crowded. I mean, the only time we really, noticed a lot of people was maybe around the pool on a sea day or if we went during peak times to the buffet. But even then, it was no worse than anywhere else going at peak time.
For sure.
I really love that answer you gave us, and I think that'll clarify it for a lot of people. Other thing that was also one of my assumptions, and I'm sure you hear this a lot as well, is that cruising is for old people.
Okay, I'll admit, on my first cruise, I did see a lot of retirees, but I also saw families with toddlers, 20-somethings enjoying the experience, and even couples on their honeymoon. There is so much variety in cruise lines that you're sure to find one that's perfect for you. Lines like Royal Caribbean, MSC, Norwegian, and Disney are fantastic for families and multi-generational travel with water slides, kids clubs, and activities for all ages. Lines like Holland America, Celebrity, and Princess, yeah, they skew a bit older, but still offer great options for families.
Good to know.
Most ships also have adult-only areas, quiet pools, sun decks, even specialty restaurants. And for those of you who just don't want kids on your cruise, consider Virgin Voyages, which is adults only.
Very cool.
And there's even luxury small ships, river cruises, and expedition cruises that attract a wide range of ages and interests.
It's great to hear that cruises are really available for people of all lifestyles, all ages, all budgets. And I think that that's really important for people to understand and a good reason to work with an agent who can help you determine which cruise is best for you.
Absolutely, Linda.
My next question is, what about people that are worried they'll be bored on sea days?
Bored? Think Broadway style shows, live music, cooking classes, fitness centers, spas, enrichment lectures, water parks, mini golf, rock climbing walls, and quiet corners with an ocean view and a good book. Many ships even have casinos, nightclubs, movie theaters, and even ice skating rinks and surf simulators. There's truly something for everyone. Or you can just simply relax by the pool. It's your vacation.
Tina, have you tried out a surf simulator yet?
I actually have done the surf simulator and I was able to get up on my knees and it was a lot of fun.
Nice. I'll have to try that out. So on my sea days, I found that I was not bored at all. I spent a lot of time people watching, which is one of my favorite things to do. And both my kids soaked up the sun. I never heard one complaint the entire time that was prefaced with, I'm bored.
Well, that's good to hear.
And last time we talked a lot about food on some of those inaugurals you were on and some of the sailings you had done. So my next question is the food just buffets?
Well, buffets are convenient and popular, but you also have main dining rooms with multi course meals, casual venues like pizzerias and cafes, 24-hour room service, and specialty restaurants featuring everything from steakhouses to sushi to Italian cuisine. There's a ton of options for vegan, vegetarian, gluten free, and all kinds of other dietary needs. Cruise ships can often manage the most dietary concerns with advance notice. And high profile chefs like Jamie Oliver, Emeril Lagasse, and Nobu lend their names to menus to restaurants on several ships. I always warn my first time cruisers pack your stretchy pants, you're gonna need them.
Stretchy pants. I always have stretchy pants. I'll take that into consideration though. So my next question, and I think a big misconception, is that to enjoy your trip, you need to book a balcony. Fact or fiction?
Fiction. While balconies and suites definitely have their advantages, your own private outdoor space is lovely, but inside an ocean view cabins can be a fantastic value, especially since you'll spend most of your time exploring the ship or going ashore.
Okay, great. So what about the myth that cruise cabins are tiny and you can barely fit anything in them and that you have to pack super light?
So I'm not going to lie, most cruise cabins are not huge, but cabins are definitely designed to be efficient, but newer ships are really smart about space. You'll find great storage, comfortable beds, USB ports, and layouts that make the room feel much bigger than people expect. There's also family cabins, accessible staterooms with different configurations, and if you want even more space, suites offer extra room along with perks like priority boarding and concierge service. That's where working with an agent really helps. We match you with the right cabin based on how you travel and what your budget is.
So working with an agent is always the answer to every question I have. Even though quite often you get to visit multiple destinations, people tend to think that the ports are too short a visit to do much. So, my next question, what about the idea that even though cruises visit multiple destinations, you don't get enough time in port to really enjoy them?
One of the great things about cruising is the flexibility you have when visiting ports. You can explore on your own at your own pace or book a shore excursion through the cruise line or a third party. Most cruise stops are 6 to 10 hours, which gives you plenty of time to discover the destination, try local food, shop, or just relax on the beach. Plus, some itineraries feature late night stays or overnights in select ports, giving you even more time to explore.
So I love that. One of the things that I found when we did our first cruise, we had 3 port stops, and I thought, "This is kinda cool, but what are we gonna do?" And we did different excursions at each of the port stops, and we definitely had enough time to get a taste of each of those ports. And the great thing about it is that now I know which places I'd like to go back to and maybe explore some more, and then which ones I'm like, "Well, maybe if we end up here again, I'll take advantage of being on the ship during a sea day." With that in mind, we're going to flip the switch back to the ships. And next question, what about the concern that cruise ships aren't safe or sanitary?
Like any vacation abroad, you do need to be smart and aware. On board, there are strict safety drills that are mandatory, medical staff available 24/7, and definitely robust sanitation protocols, far stricter than most hotels or all inclusives. You'll see crew constantly cleaning high touch surfaces and hand sanitizer stations everywhere. Hand washing and basic hygiene go a long way. Yes, occasionally there are illness outbreaks, but they're rare and typically manageable. The cruise industry takes health and safety extremely seriously.
That's so good to hear. And now that we have those pesky misconceptions out of the way and I'm excited to cruise, where do I start?
Well, you should start by doing some of your own research like you would for any vacation. Think about the destinations you're interested in visiting: Caribbean, Alaska, Mediterranean. Consider your budget, who you're traveling with, and what vibe you want: party or peaceful. Then work with an agent. That's where we come in. We take all that information and ask the questions you might not have thought about to make sure we find you that perfect cruise. We know destinations, we know what they offer, the best times to visit, and we understand the pros and the cons of the cruise lines we sell. Cruising is not one size fits all, and that's why we tailor your options based on all those factors. Think about us as your cruise matchmakers, but with better success rates than most dating apps.
Fantastic. I'm going to swipe right on vacations for Canadians. I have an agent. We found my dream cruise and I'm ready to go. What are your top tips for first time cruisers?
Wow, I have so many, but here's a few to get you started. Packing tips. Think resort casual for most days: shorts, sundresses, comfortable shoes, slacks, and a few nice shirts for dinners, and one elevated outfit if you want a photo op on a formal or elegant night. Don't overpack, there's always laundry service available if needed. Also, arrive a day early. Fly in the day before your cruise departs. This protects you from flight delays or cancellations that could cause you to miss the ship. Download the app if your cruise line has one. Download it before you sail. You can make your dining reservations, check your schedule, message other guests, and even book your shore excursions. Do the package math. Drink packages, Wi Fi, and specialty dining bundles can be a great value, but only if the per day cost beats what you'll actually use. Be honest with yourself about your habits. And don't forget to get travel insurance. This is a non negotiable, people. It protects you against trip cancellations, medical emergencies, and missed connections. Make sure to pack your medications, travel documents, swimsuit, sunscreen, and change of clothes in your carry on. Your checked luggage may take several hours to arrive at your stateroom, but the pools and bars are ready and open. Reserve your shows, specialty restaurants, and spa appointments early. These definitely fill up fast. Lock them in as soon as you board or before if the cruise line allows pre booking. And don't forget to put your phone in airplane mode. Turn off Wi Fi assist on your phone to avoid accidentally connecting to cellular at sea, which can result in outrageous charges. And better bring your seasickness kit. Bring Gravol, ginger chews, bands, or even a prescription patch if you're worried. Stay hydrated, get fresh air, and book that midship cabin for the smoothest ride. On embarkation day, make sure to walk around and get your bearings. Explore the ship fully. Find the dining rooms, theater, pool deck, and your muster station before things get too busy. And most importantly, pace yourself. You don't have to do everything. It's okay to skip an excursion and relax by the pool. It's your vacation.
That's great advice. Perfect information for someone going on their first cruise. So, a little bird told me that starting on January 1st, you were giving out a different travel tip every day on our social media.
I sure have.
That's awesome. I love those daily tips. Quick, easy, and good advice.
Absolutely, Linda.
So, how about you, Tina? Do you remember your first cruise?
I sure do. And it's not what you think I'm going to say. I actually didn't enjoy my first cruise. We were in really choppy water and I found out I was pregnant. I didn't get hooked until my second cruise years later when we decided to give it another try. And am I ever glad I did? It really is the best way to travel.
So, morning sickness and choppy waters don't mix?
Yeah. No, it's just I couldn't drink. I was in mornings.
I love that.
So, if you've been on the fence about cruising, I hope today helped clear up some of the misconceptions and give you the confidence to explore cruising as a travel option. If you're a first-time cruiser, check us out, vacationsforcanadians.com, and we can connect you with an agent to find that perfect cruise for you. Until next time, I'm Teena Dowd. Thanks for listening and happy travels.